Jó reggelt kívánok, kedves nézőket! Hello and welcome into another episode of the series that is called Commenting On. And today we are commenting on Kiwi, Hungary. Yes, you heard me right. There's a channel in Hungary, Magyarország, called Kiwi. And this continuity is from May 26th, 2018. So, 2018, it's roughly a year ago. And March, April, May has just started. It's like the 5th of May today. You know, you could even say it's a May Day. So, we see a lot of old cartoons in Hungarian. This is a great channel, by the way. If only it had an English audio track, right? Because the Hungarian language is not easy to learn. As a matter of fact, it's one of the most difficult languages to learn, you know, for pretty much anyone. So yeah, except for when you're a baby, then you don't know any language, then it doesn't really matter which your mother tongue will be, right? So we see some kind of 3D cartoon thingies. Yeah, well, I don't know what to say. They remind me of something, but I'm not sure what. What do they remind you of? It's called Chuck a Dumper Kolonjai. I guess it's called Chuck a car or something. I don't know. Maybe I don't need to know, because this is just one of those things you can't know. So they have original programming as well. So I guess this is a prime example of their original programming, where parents and their kids participate in some kind of games, some kind of challenges, some kind of game shows. Gyerekek, yes, children, on TV too. This is another Hungarian TV channel that is not exclusive to kids, you know, not exclusively dedicated to kids content. So it was an ad for TV2, TV2 in Hungarian. By the way, I do not speak Hungarian, I just know a few words. So, interesting. So Masha and the Bear has to be everywhere. It is a Russian invention. A Russian cartoon, which I do, you know, I don't know. When I look at Russian cartoons, the colors all are like poison ivy. They're like, you know, they look poisonous. Honestly, they're wild and they're unusual and they're different. They're very, very different from other cartoons. In regards to how they're drawn and the colors that are used, they're very, very different. Well, okay, they're not that different, but I mean, it's something I pick up and perceive and find weird. How about you? Do you find the same? Like this guy this cartoon about this little guy, Stuart Little? No, that's a different guy. That's George, I don't know, Little George Little, something like that. That's a great looking cartoon. Honestly, it's pretty old, but it's great. I would like to watch it, even right now if I could. But, you know, all I have is the commercials right now. The bumpers and the promotions. We see a lot of insects and something that reminds me of Tinkerbell, but it's not. So we see this cartoon, and we see Curious George. Look, he's waking up, very curious, very happy, very joyful. Can't wait to start the day. And this banana man is like his caregiver or something. That's interesting. So, for my taste, he's like too jolly, too happy all the time. So, I mean, come on. You gotta have bad days, right? You can't be like... Usually when people are like Curious George, the way we saw it there in the picture, it means something is wrong. Like, usually nobody is that happy. Like, when you know somebody that's extremely like not know somebody, when you meet somebody who's like extremely over the top happy, like I think you know, there's gonna be like a after effect. Like when somebody is overly happy, he's gonna be overly sad or overly angry pretty soon, I guess. That's what I've noticed. That's a thing I've noticed. So I mean, cartoons don't have to be real. They can make a monkey that is always happy, right? But in reality, I've noticed like Unikitty is a pretty good example, right? She's overly happy, happy over the top, and then like she snaps and starts getting really angry, right? So that's a pretty good example. That's what I was thinking of. So Kiwi, you look at this channel. Did you even know this channel existed before you saw it here? Yeah, it really does. And look, the W is like the nose, and you have the two eyes. Ironically, the eyes look like eyes. Whoa, mind blown. Maybe that's why it's called an eye. Wait, maybe that's why the letter I is called an eye, because it has a dot that resembles an eye. And then, you know, Kiwi. Let's wait till the logo appears again. Kiwi. Well, yeah, they have like underscore that makes it look like it's a mouth. So the Kiwi logo is simultaneously a face. And it's not just Kiwi, it's called Kiwi TV. Kiwi TV. And the Maya, the Be Maya, Be Called Maya, the old original OG episodes. Whoa. Man. This looks so much better than the new stuff. I don't know why. Is it nostalgia? Maybe. I know this song, the intro in German. It sounds a little bit like this. Und diese Biene, die ich meine, nennt sich Maya. This is how the intro was. I haven't watched it in any other languages, so I don't know the other languages, the other versions, the original. What was the original of this cartoon? It might have been German. I don't know. So again, they're advertising these cars, and the Kiwi logo appears on a green background, and now it appears on an orange background. I would say the colors are kind of like unusual on this channel, but they're not Russian unusual. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's my perception of the world. Yeah, I guess it's just my perception of the world. So, I mean, when you see Latin letters, it gives you a different feeling than when you see Cyrillic letters. But it doesn't matter. It's Hungarian, right? They're completely different people from anybody else, like pretty much, because it's complicated. So we see this old cartoon about that was designed to teach us about various things. Okay, so we see this trucks, these toy trucks again, and these cars. Like there's a fire truck, and you know, other kinds of trucks, and regular cars, and a monster truck even. A monster. We have created a monster. Yeah. So Blinky Bill. They even have Blinky Bill. Some kind of newer version of Blinky Bill. I didn't even know it existed. A 2D hand-drawn Blinky Bill cartoon that is actually a newer one. Or is this the like very old one? I think it's a newer one. That's interesting. I never watched it. I would like to watch it. I know the older one that is even older than this one, and I mean I watched it a very long time ago, many years ago, and I kind of miss it. Right? Well, maybe not that much. Who knows? I don't know. I mean, you can't watch everything you see, right? Because it's just impossible. So I mean, that's how I feel. I want to watch everything. I know everything I ever heard of. I want to rewatch everything. I want to watch new stuff. But in order to do that, like, you'd have to have infinite time. Pretty much so, because like, you know, there's more content being produced with every minute of the day. Like, there is more content produced during a day than you are physically able to watch. So it's like, it's impossible to watch everything, right? You have to choose and sacrifice, right? You can't watch everything that is out there. And I mean, even if you dedicate your whole life to watching some specific genre, it's still not really possible unless it's a very small genre. It's still not really possible to watch everything. So you have to limit yourself, or else, like, if your goal is to watch everything, you're never going to accomplish that. I'm sorry to tell you this, but you're never going to watch everything. You can choose what you want to watch. Oh wait, and again, we saw this commercial from TV2. So when I said that this is some original content from Kiwi, no, that's original content from TV2. And I don't know what the deal is with Kiwi here. Do they show TV2 stuff? I don't think so. I think they're just showing advertisement for TV2 because somehow they are related. Maybe, I don't know. They're in some kind of cooperation or partnership or agreement, right? Or maybe they just paid them to show ads, because, you know, that's how they earn their money aside of being an encrypted channel on DigiTV. So when it's an encrypted channel on a pay TV platform, it earns money from the people who subscribe to it and who pay for the service monthly. So that's interesting. Well, I see a new cartoon that hasn't been advertised here in this continuity P4. It's a 3D CG computer generated cartoon. It's about dinosaurs, multicolored dinosaurs. There's a pterodactyl with stripes, yellow and pink stripes. I think it's a pink pterodactyl with yellow stripes, but I'm not sure. And again, Blinky Bill. So what does the Blinky Bill character do? He hangs out with his friends, who are forest creatures, woodland creatures, animals in Australia, mind you. This is a cartoon about Australia. You know, I heard that there's a movie about Blinky Bill. I'm like, yay, Blinky Bill. It's happy and jolly and a pretty nice cartoon, right? And it was like a movie, not it's like a real life movie, not a hand drawn movie, not a CGI thing. And I just watched the beginning, and it was like so sad that I just stopped watching because I didn't like it. I don't like sad things. I like happy things. I like to joke around, and you know, I like happiness and rainbows and marshmallows, flowers, maybe flowers. Everything's positive and true. I don't like lies. I'd rather hear a honest lie than a honest truth than a happy lie. Well, is there such a thing as an honest lie? What would an honest lie be? Well, for example, if somebody didn't know he was lying to you and he told you something that wasn't true but he believed in it, would that be an honest lie? I don't know, but maybe that could qualify as an honest lie. An honest mistake, I know they are honest mistakes made, right? But can there be an honest lie? I've never heard anybody use the term before. I think I have created the term. I have coined it, so to speak. So, enough with the accents. Let's get back to the US&A. We see a new show being promoted here. It's an interesting show. it looks like it's computer generated, but it looks like it's been converted into looking into a 2D one. Like there is technology to convert CGI 3D objects into 2D looking ones. And I'm not sure if they did that with that cartoon. Maybe not. I don't know. But I mean, look at the old cartoons. Pretty brilliant. Like the way they're drawn. They don't draw cartoons the way they used to. The Bee Maya, well, she's actually drawn pretty primitively, kinda, if I'm honest. But not really. Like the hair, like the grasshopper, they're all very complicated and like there's something about how they look that makes you feel good, more or less. And now look at these newcomers. Look at these newcomers, ninjas. Why are all the shows about ninjas not very appealing to me, to my eye, to my taste? Not tickling my taste buds. Well, because they're not food, I guess. But also, they're not pleasant for my eye to behold. My eye, mind you. Your eye may be different, may have different tastes, right? So, they say next show only. Is it true? Can I understand some words? Only some, as it turns out, because what did they say? I couldn't read what they said because it was like it disappeared too fast. So they have a nice tune here. Okay. I don't know. The following show can only be watched with under the supervision of the mother, of parents. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't speak Hungarian. Yeah, Agnello. I guess it means next or something. I don't know. Tomorrow morning, time of the day. Don't ask me, because I don't understand what you're saying. Are you seeing what I'm saying? So, this is the one I suspected that it's in reality a 3D one, but I don't know. Maybe not. I mean, how else would they create such a thing? Do they hand draw all of it? Seems pretty complex and too symmetrical. Doesn't look cartoony at all. Maybe it's a flash animation. I never really understood how flash cartoons work, but there's a lot of examples of cartoons being made in flash, like the Tom and Jerry version, which they don't show on Kiwi, so I'm not gonna talk about it. I'll spare you the philosophy about other TV channels while we're watching this one. So they have a lot of shows, and one of these shows, or cartoon, is about these children. I never seen this before, and I don't even know what it's called or what it's all about. It seems to be all over the place. It seems to be happening in some kind of past time of history. And the bugs seem to be all alive and like anthropomorphized. You know what that means? It means the bugs are behaving like humans, like looking like humans. They're actually humans in forms of bugs. That's what anthropomorphy means, or something like that. Don't quote me on that, maybe, or maybe do quote me. Quote everything I say to everyone you know. That would be cool. Okay, cartoon comment channel Junior says anthropomorphized. Toonie make, make it tune. Did you know that cartoons and tunes? Did you know that sometimes instead of saying cartoons, people say tunes, meaning cartoons, but tunes also means like melodies, like humming a tune. Like that. Humming a tune. This is how we do it. So there's a bee and there are ants. There's the bee and she's called Maya. That's her name. Sombod és vasárnap. It means Saturday and Sunday. They showed the bee cartoon. No, not the bee movie. That is something else. Do you know the bee movie? It's like I don't know. I don't want to get into it, okay? So they have this weird ninja stuff, and I don't know. I can't fully get behind this cartoon because it kind of looks not so pretty. Do you agree? Do you also think that it doesn't look its best? It looks kind of weird, metallic looking kind of. I guess it's because of the way the light falls on it, or maybe because the movements are weird, unnatural, because it's, shapes inside a computer program. That's how they make it. So, Kiwi Reklam. Dun 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 dun. That's the sound it makes. It's like dun 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 dun, and then like dun dun dun. That's what the sound it makes. So we see that they repeat a lot of cartoons. I mean, not only cartoons, but they repeat the promotions and bumpers and identifications a lot, like any other channel. I mean, there are channels who are worse offenders, I guess. I suppose. What is the difference between saying I guess and I suppose? I don't think there is any real difference. Like, you sound smarter when you say I suppose, and when you say I guess, you're like, you're not into literature and philosophy. You're just like, I guess. You watch monster trucks on TV and you don't read books. That's how it sounds like. But being very educated also has its downsides. You kind of get like excluded from a lot of people for being not like them, I guess. So yeah. So the Kiwi channel in Hungary is a channel that is very unusual and probably very unknown. I suspect that not a lot of people outside of Hungary know about this channel's existence. And an interesting thing about it is that it's a purely Hungarian channel. While on the platform of Kiwi TV, you can find a lot of channels that have multiple audio tracks, right? There's like a cooperation between many countries going on in Central and Eastern Europe. For example, Cartoon Network, they have one version for like 3 at least countries. And Boomerang, Central and Eastern Europe, well, it's also become the German version as well. So yeah, but if you look at Kiwi, it is a Hungarian TV channel, and the last time I checked, it only had one audio track, and it was Hungarian. So it's not cooperating with Romania, it's not cooperating with Slovakia or any other country. It's its own thing for now, at least. Maybe in the future things will change, but I mean, they made their own bumpers, which are pretty similar. I mean, they're pretty much the same bumper with a different color scheme, but okay, they're new into the game. I mean, that's still good enough. It's acceptable. They have their own tune and their own bumper. They have like one bumper for everything. So yeah, I mean, maybe with time they'll add more. They'll create more. Like there's almost nothing to rebrand here. So yeah, but they do show a lot of old cartoons. The funny thing is, the funny thing is, new cartoon channels that don't have a lot of money to finance themselves with, they start up by showing a lot of old cartoons that are cheaper to air, right? Maybe in some instances, maybe they even broadcast public domain cartoons, which are free to air. Like, they don't have to pay anything to anybody to air them. No royalties, no fees, no copyright stuff. But maybe because these older cartoons are in lower demand, they can air them without needing to pay too much for them. So that's my theory. That's why new channels often start out by airing old cartoons. And what's the deal with old cartoons? Are they not good anymore? They used to be good. Are the modern ones better? Do modern kids like modern cartoons better? I mean, there are some good ones and some bad old cartoons, but in general, I am of the opinion that old cartoons are better, most of them. And so is it that expensive to air new cartoons? I mean, they do air new cartoons, but they're kind of like cheaply made looking, So it's either like cheap new cartoons or like old cartoons just because they're cheap. It's like this channel is a collection of all the cheapest cartoons you could get in order to have a channel. So that's how they start out, and I'm sure they're gonna like keep introducing new ones till they're like a household name and real successful and making enough money to be able to afford other cartoons. But I mean, these cartoons are great looking. Like, I don't mind all these old cartoons. They're pretty cool looking. And what is this show? I never heard of this show, but it looks awesome. The way it's drawn, it's like Shelley Duvall Estimese. I don't know what something about Shelley Duvall. I guess it's a French cartoon. I guess it's cheaper to buy a cartoon from the French. I mean, they're not really buying it. They're like licensing it. Right? Getting a license for it. Airing it. Okay. So, yeah. I'm not a fan of this karate animal cartoon from China, probably. I don't know. So, but this I am kind of a fan of. It looks well drawn. There's a dog, there are insects, grasshoppers, just like in the Maya cartoon. The bee named Maya. But I mean, it's not the best looking. I agree. Even though it's old, it's not the best looking. It's okay, right? But still beats modern ones, a lot of modern ones. Because there's a lot more attention to detail in that one. The way it's drawn, like, it's harder to draw the old looking one than some of the newer looking ones. Let's compare Curious George. Well, if you notice, it's drawn way more simply than the old ones. I mean, there's less attention to background. I mean, there is a lot of background stuff going on, but it's like, oh, this is Blinky Bill, so never mind. We were talking about Curious George. This Blinky Bill cartoon is relatively old, so I'm like, yeah, surprised why there's a lot of background stuff, why there's so much attention to detail, because it's pretty old, that's why. Well, in the olden days, people paid more attention to backgrounds and details, that's why, and the movements, everything. People just put in more effort into these cartoons, and you can feel it. You can feel the heart and the soul of the people who created these cartoons. I mean, don't get me wrong, modern cartoons also have some stuff about them that is like valuable, but I think older ones have more heart and soul. But that's just me. Maybe I'm not right in this regard. Maybe it's just my biased opinion. Who knows? There's no real way to find out. And it's like, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter too much. Because you can make up your own mind and you can just ignore everything I say if you don't agree with it. I mean, I'm not forcing my opinion down anybody's throat or anything. So, yeah. So it's pretty much the same bumpers. There's station identifications, station IDs and stuff. So Blinky Bill is something I like. I mean, I don't know, like, something about this is like, it's not better than the old one. I don't know why. Is it only because I'm not used to it? The lines are clearer and thinner, maybe that's why. And the colors are like like everything looks like it's made in higher quality. Like everything's clear. The colors are like, it's like sterile, right? There are no like blemishes or anything. It's very high contrast and stuff. So yeah, maybe that's a good thing for a lot of people. The color scheme is interesting. Like it seems the color schemes are very similar between this cartoon that they're showing right now and the Blinky Bill one. Even though they're pretty old, much older cartoons, but they're still relatively new. So most of these cartoons are actually pretty old, and some of them are really old, and they have a few new ones, but they're nothing like really special. They're not pretty looking in my opinion. But all in all, the channel is very valuable for its nostalgia factor for me. And I mean, maybe if it had an English audio track, you know, a lot of more people could enjoy it. If it wasn't only pay TV, right? If it was widely accessible, it would be a good thing. But the video is ending, and I bid you farewell. No, I'm saying just bye, see you next time, right? I'm not saying anything out of the ordinary here.